Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pillars of Eternity. Alright, so I'm quite excited for this game. If you guys don't know, this is basically a game that is in the style of an old school RPG. The best game that the game is compared to is Baldur's Gate. Way back in the day, before I was even had a computer, but I still managed to play it when I moved to America, and it was practically the first game that I got my hands on and was able to play without even understanding English. So imagine that. Can't read English, and I was still able to play Baldur's Gate back in the day. But I'm super excited for this game simply because it's back in that genre. Everything is not voice acted though. Very few parts in this game that actually has voice acting. So I'm contemplating on reading everything to you guys or not. We'll see. But anyways, I've already done all the options menu. I made the sound relatively okay. I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing. Sound. The music right now is actually pretty loud. And it's at 2%. If I lower it to 1%, oops. Come on. Like 1% is a little bit too low, you know? So I'll keep it at 2%. But that means all these other things like voice and effects volumes, I don't know how loud that would be. So I'm actually a bit scared. If music volume is this loud at 2%, I'm not sure if voice or sound effects volume, like what it would be like at 15 and 20%. Like yikes. Like right here, you can, like the sound effects, you can barely hear it. Never mind. This menu music is way too loud. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna take new game. We're gonna go easy mode because I don't think I can do normal. Yeah, because I'm not gonna play the traditional party. Like, I've seen some people play normal difficulty, and some people play it hard, which is insane. But you really do have to, like, even on hard, it literally says right here, you have to require micromanagement of your party, optimization of stats, items, spells, and abilities. Meaning you play this like an MMO, right? You have 1 or 2 tanks, 1 black mage for AoE, 1 white mage for healing, and 1 ranger roguish types for trap finding and DPS, single target DPS, and that's how you build your team. If I play normal or hard, that's what I'm probably going to go down on. However, I don't want to do that. You know, I want to play this with maybe 2 mage, like my party. I will try to make it like mainly mages. So I don't know if that's actually viable in normal or hard mode. Path to the Dam though, if you want to die a lot, I guess it's a fun thing to do. And Trial of Iron is basically Iron Man mode. If your character dies, your save file gets deleted and you start the entire game over. We're not doing that because that's a huge waste of time. And this game is supposedly 100+ hours long, which is insane to me, you know? Expert mode, I actually don't know what this is. It probably disables the tutorial or something, and I'm not going to do that because I haven't played this game. So there you go. Enough delays. Let's pick easy mode. We're going to start the game. And it's made by Obsidian. So I'm quite sad that Obsidian didn't voice act everything. But whatever, it is a Kickstarter project, so, you know, I'm not surprised. Heavier armor grants more protection, but extend recovery for its wearers. What's recovery? Well, the loading time could use a little bit of work, I'll say.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night. their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Ambush. I predict an ambush. Yeah, definitely I need to lower the voice volumes. That's way too loud. Okay. So we can be either male or female. And it looks like we have a different backstory if we pick one or the other. We're probably going to go with female as always. Sure. A woman's role in era, or whatever, is largely dependent on where she is from. In the Edir Empire, Valiant Republics, and the Direwood, women occupy many domestic, educational, and organizational roles. They are primary hunters, soldiers, and leaders of the tribes of Nasitak. Oh, all these names are terrible. In Ir Glanfath and Ixamilt, God, women and men have more fluid social roles. In all societies, there are exceptions to the rule, and women can be found in a wide variety of stations and professions. The place of men in society varies from culture to culture. Cultures like Edir and Direwood place them at the forefront of military, politics, and heavy labor. Amongst the tribe of Nasitak, men perform many of the homesteading and organizational duties. In Erglafath and Ixamilt, men and women have more fluid social roles. In all societies, there are exceptions to the rule, and men can be found in a wide variety of station and profession. So you get some background stories on each of these places. Look like Edir and Direwood put men on that traditional role of being the bread earners. They are big warriors, mostly in the militaries, working on the mines and railroads and digging, hard labor. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But I am going to be female. We're going to click next. Human. Humans, commonly called folk, are the most common race in Direwood, the Edir Empire, Old Valia, and the Valiant Republics. Okay. Though not as large as the towering Armoa, humans are known for their strength and willpower, resolve, and might. Well, I'm not going to pick that because my main character is going to be a mage. So, the Amawa. Ooh, so these are the Avatar people. Cool. Nice. Like it. The mighty Amawa are the largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have affinity for water, and many of their civilization, such as Rawata, sure, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. Okay, so they are basically barbarians. Let's put it bluntly, yeah? Dwarves. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in Direwood, the Valiant Republics, and almost any colonized lands. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. So, high constitution, high might. So, they look like our roundabout tank here, the dwarf. Elves are dominant race in Glanfath. The white that wens are extremely common in Direwood and Edir. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as commonly isolationist natures. Dexterity and perception, rangers, traditional roles for an elf, ranger, rogue. The Orlan are the smallest of the Kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-toned skins, and hirsute bodies, Orlans are commonly found in Air Glenfath, the Examilt Plains, and part of Direwood. They are known for their mental intensity and quickness, resolve and perception. Is that priest? Resolve sounds like priests. What the fuck does resolve? Resolve reflects the character's internal drive, determination, and fearlessness. The emotion intensifies. Oh, sorry. The emotional intensity they can project onto others can be used for mental oh, okay, so this is charisma, basically, is their resolve. It helped maintain concentration and contribute to will and deflection defenses. Okay, so resolve is basically wisdom and charisma combined. Huh, interesting. And they have good perception, so that's a rogue ability. Not very good for might, so looks like the Orlan are good at range rogue and social things. The godlike races are children of the Kith, civilized races, who have been blessed with the physical aspects and associated with the gods. Though some do not consider it a blessing, these aspects may take form and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant heads shaped are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits, because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce. Godlikes are often viewed with fear and wonder. They have dexterity and intellect. Okay. Intellect represents a character's logic and reasoning capabilities. Into interaction, it can be useful. Okay. In combat, will, defense, and influence duration of area of effect for all abilities and talents. So obviously, if I'm going to be a mage, it's obviously a godlike, because they're the only one that actually has intelligent as a stat to start with. So we'll pick that. Death godlike. Death godlike are the most distrusted of their kind. Strange growths cover their eyes, or in some cases, entire faces. Like that, yeah. Giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque from the outside. Oh. Hiding their features. Death godlikes are commonly killed at birth because many cultures consider them to be harbingers of doom. Why is that there? That's weird. Death Usher. When Death godlike attacks an enemy with 25% or less endurance, their damage increase. Okay, that's cool. Fire godlike. Oh, that's really neat. I like that. The bodies of a fire godlike often resembles hot metal, burnt wood, or stone, with harmless flames that erupts from the cracks in their skin. Fire godlikes are objects of both reverence and fear in the Dead Fire archipelago. Many locals believe they have the power to awaken volcanoes, or that killing one will cause a volcano to awaken. In the Direwood, fire godlikes are often seen as a sign of blessing of Magran, goddess of war and fire. Battleforge. When reduced below 50% endurance, fire godlikes glow like metal in the forge, gaining damage reduction and doing a small amount of fire damage to any creature who hits them in melee. Not good for casting. Moon. Ooh, that's really pretty. I hope this is the casting one. Moon godlikes are most tolerated of the godlike, while their skin tone and large moon-like growth on their forehead may be strange to some. Oh, I see that. Their appearance are generally considered more palatable by the other Kith. Sailors have many beliefs about moon godlike and their propensity to bring luck, though there is little agreement to what kind of luck they tend to bring. Okay, Silver Tide. Every encounter, when reduced below 75, 15, 25 endurance, moon godlike generate waves of healing moonlight that restore endurance to the... Oh, so they're healers. Nature godlike. Oh, ew. Nature godlike appears to be a fusion of human and animal features. Often covered by plant, moss, or fungi, this has led to common stigma that they are diseased, and many are killed at birth because of it. Many Druidic orders have a keen interest in nature godlikes because of their general curiosity as to how souls occupy animals, plants, and stones. Wellspring of Life. Grant bonus to might, constitution, dexterity when endurance is below 50%. None of this sounds like casting. Like, I like the moon godlike the most. Hearth Orlins are often found as slaves in Red Kiras of the Villian Republic. One of the treaty terms between Direwood and the people of Erglanfoth was the liberation of Orlan slaves, and while this has been honored, many Hearth Orlins continue to live in the Direwood as indentured servants. So slaves. Okay, cool. Minor threat. When attacking any target that is also being attacked by teammates, the Hearth Orlin converts some of their hits into crits. Oh. Oh. If you guys played 5th edition of D&D recently, that's basically one of the sneak attack effects. Wild Orlin. Ooh, God, that looks like a werewolf. Wild Orlins are the original Orlins who live in the deepest forests and jungles between the tropics. While they have only been significantly separated from Hearth Orlins for thousands of years, a few genetic differences have appeared rapidly. Most notably, the lack of facial hair in the Hearth Orlin branch. Wild Orlins are common in the deep reaches of Erglanfoth. Unlike their Hearth Orlin brethren, they are not often seen in the Direwood Reed Kiras or the Villian Republics. Defiant Resolve. After being subjected to a will attack, Wild Orlin temporarily gain a bonus to all defenses. So, resistance increases when attacked by a mental attack. Okay. Elves. Wood Elves. Or Schult Folk. Wow. Okay. Trace their beginnings far north of present-day Adir and have migrated south throughout the forests of the continents. Now covering it all the way south across the equator, they are also believed to have migrated across the sea to Erglanfoth. While physiologically identical to one another, wood elves from Adir are culturally different from those in Erglanfoth and consider themselves wholly different groups. Okay. Against any enemy that is more than 4 meters away, wood elves gain a bonus. Okay, so they are legitimately the range rogue. The Pale Elves. It is unclear exactly to how long ago the Pale Elves Glamfelin came to the southern polar region of the world, but they have lived there for at least 12,000 years, based on their continuous contacts with Mawa traders. They appear to be among the most stationary ethnic groups in the known world, migrating within the polar region but seldom venturing far north. They are rare in all northern lands, and most consider them exotic if they have been seen at all. So basically, they can be sold for lots of money. All Pale Elves have increased burn and freeze resistant damage. It's okay. Mountain dwarves originate from the continent of east to the east of Direwood and have spread through the area several times. Unlike the similarly diminutive Orlins, who are frequently subjugated, the Aptapo are always directly fought back and threats posed by larger kith and opted to fortify their resident rather than move on. Mountain dwarves are common in the Villian or Valian republics, but not seen as often in the Direwood and Reed Kiras. Mountain dwarves have a bonus to defend against poisons and disease attacks. So traditional dwarves, basically. The Boreal Dwarf. Most Boreal Dwarves live in the remote southern islands of Nasitak. where they share the rocky tundra and snow-covered forest with migratory pale elves and the coast-hugging ships of Amawa. Like their northern cousins, Nutanique share instinctive love of exploration. Boreal dwarves are somewhat common in the Valiant Republics, but seldom encountered in the dire woods. Boreal dwarves gain 50% accuracy against any creature of the wilder or primordial types. So primordials are elemental. I don't know what wilder is. I can look it up in my D&D book, but I highly doubt I care. Coastal Amawa. Viewed as warlike race, the coastal Amawa live in the mainland region along the coast of the northern hemisphere lands, where they conquered by pushing Tan, Natlan, and Orland communities out. Their culture is more centralized and urban than their island cousins, though both groups are involved in seafaring. Coastal Amawas are very rare in dire wood, but those that do make the journey usually do so as mercenaries, bodyguards, or soldiers. Coastal Amawa gain bonuses to defense against prone and stun effects. That's actually pretty cool. Island Amawa. Island Amawa originated in the Dead Fire Archipelago, 1,000 miles south of the Valiant Republics. While physiologically similar to their coastal cousins, the coloration of the island Amawa is starkly different. Brown and yellow contrast the coastal blue and green. Though still uncommon in the dry wood and surrounding environments, island Amawa are more commonly encountered there than coastal Amawa, who are quite rare. When encountered around the dry wood, they are often labor, fishermen, and sailors. All island Amawa gain additional weapon set. Oh, okay. Humans, metal folk. The most common human in the dire wood, the metal folk or Thirtan, live in that area for almost 2,000 years. Metal folk traditionally live at the edge of elven forest, working the open plains, hence their name. Most humans in the dire wood are Thirtan, fighting spirits once per encounter. 5 seconds after being reduced below 50% endurance, folk temporarily gain bonuses to accuracy and damage. Ocean folk. Ocean folk originated near the equator on the either side of the globe and are currently most widespread human group in the region, but they also migrated to the far reaches of the world. Ocean folk are the dominant cultures of the Valiant Republics and are also common in the dire wood. Once per encounter, 5 seconds after being... Oh. It's all the same. Okay, so the humans actually don't change their abilities. Okay. Savannah folk come originally from the south of the equator, and with the exception of some groups that migrated north, have remained in the same location for over 10,000 years. The name Natlan literally means original. While quite common in the Rikiras, Savannah folks are not usually seen in the dire wood and the Valiant Republics. Holy crap, that was a lot to read. But that's like the background of every race. Jesus Christ. We're gonna go with this. Oh. Okay. We'll pick the elf. Yeah. Alright, time to read everything. Yes, there's gonna be a lot of reading. If you guys didn't know, this is, if you guys have ever played any of the original RPGs and all that, if you're not gonna read in these types of games, you shouldn't play it, because all the lore, all the character interactions, everything is done through reading. And if you're not going to read, you're missing out on like 90% of the game, because this is where everything comes in from. So if you're not gonna like reading, you shouldn't be picking up this game in the first place, you know? However, if you're watching this playthrough, I will most likely be reading almost everything. So, barbarians, brutes, madmen, berserkers. Those city-dwelling people often use the term barbarian with a dose of disrespect. These rural warriors are respected by their communities for their ferocity and fearsome presence on the battlefield. Barbarians have a special, almost religious role in some culture. But in many places, the undisciplined, fearless style of the barbarian is simply how warriors conduct themselves. Right. So, abilities. Carnage. When barbarians hit with melee attacks, they automatically make reduced damage attacks at all other enemies within a short distance of a target. Oh, so every time they attack is an AoE, but it does just, the AoE does less damage. Okay, that's a pretty neat thing. Athletic and survival. What does athletics do? Adventuring is tired work. Traveling, fighting, scrambling up fallen statues can take its toll. The athletic skill encounters these effect. Accrued fatigue, allowing characters to go further and fight longer before they suffer penalties. In conversation and scripture interaction, athletic can be used for... Okay, cool. And they start off with athletic survival, lots of endurance, lots of health, good accuracy, and low deflection. They don't need to block attacks, obviously. Cipher. That looks cool. A recent discovery in the Eastern Reach, ciphers were once called Brishkalwin. Minehunters. By the Glenfathans, ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally's or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the technique have spread through the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are genuinely distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Of course. Who fucking cares about the uneducated? Starting ability. Powers. Cypher can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul focus effects. These power cost focus, which Cypher builds through the use of their soul whip. This sounds really cool. It's basically a melee fighter. I mean, a melee sorcerer, wizard thing. Yeah. Okay. Stealth, lore, and mechanics. What's mechanics? Traps, locks. Okay, cool. Lore, blah, 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 blah. Knowledge and trivia. Okay, cool. Low endurance, low health, good accuracy. So it's basically, you know, you use your abilities. That's pretty cool. Fighters. Form the front line of disciplined armies across the Eastern Reach. Though they are most commonly found in the cultures with an organized martial structure, fighters can also be encouraged as wandering mercenaries, bodyguards, and other types of sellswords. The common element that unifies fighter is their heavy focus on endurance and melee defense. Starting ability, constant recovery. Fighter continually regenerate endurance at a modest rate during combat. Oh my god. These are tanks. These are legitimately tanks, I think. Yes, they are tanks focus on blocking and defending instead of taking hits. I'm guessing the paladin would be the one that's taking hits, which is the next one. They start off with athletic, lore, and survival. Whatever. Paladins are martial zealots, devoted to a god, a ruler, or even way of life. They can be found in any culture where fanatical groups of like-minded individuals have formed a warrior society dedicated to advancing their cause. Among those aligned to their worldview, paladins are viewed with respect and admiration, if a bit of fear. Many paladins hold leadership positions in armies and mercenary companies, but in the heat of battle, their fanaticism often overrules the chain of command and common sense. Starting ability, faith and conviction. Paladin have an inherent bonus to all their defenses. Over the course of the game, the value of this bonus may shift based on the reputation the Paladin gains relative to the behavior that are preferred by his or her order. Nice. Nope, they're also focused more on defending with shields. than taking hits. Which is what a tank is supposed to be, right? We're not going to make that. I'm just reading all this for you guys. It's actually pretty interesting lore. I like it. Rangers are warriors of the woodlands and are master of the hunt, always partnered with soul-bonded animal companions. They can be found in wild places all over the world. As their lifestyle often tends towards independence and isolation, it is rare for rangers to become an integral part of the large fighting force, though they are often employed as scouts and guides. Ooh, starting ability, Animal Companion. All rangers share a strong bond with an animal companion. The companion fights at the ranger's command and is extremely valuable to its ability to run interference. Animal companion don't do much damage, but they have high damage reduction. The link between the ranger and the animal companion is powerful. If one goes down in battle, the other suffers as well. That's what I thought. Endurance. Low endurance, good health, good accuracy, good deflection. Okay. So they're rangers. I do like the animal companion thing though. Sounds good. Chanter. Ooh, nice two-handed axe. In every culture across era, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. Their hollowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, they are just a time-honored part of local folk and traditions. Starting ability, phrases/chants. All chanters can continually speak chant made up of magical phrases. Phrases produce passive effects and help build a chanter power until they can use an invocation. So this is basically an Oradin, if you know what that term means. Invocation. Powerful magical effects that chanters can create after they have spoken a required number of phrases through their chants. Alright, cool. Well, it's not really an Oradin, is it? Because it only the passives only affects them. I don't think it actually affects other people, but they sounds cool. They are also magic users. I hope that I can make like multiple people to begin with, right? I already know I'm gonna make the Cipher, the Chanter, and probably a Paladin, and then of course a Wizard. But we'll see how many characters they let you make at the beginning of the game. We'll find that out soon. Is that a buckler? God. Buckler and scimitar for a druid. What a weird weapon choice for a druid, really. Okay. Animist at heart. Is that a word? Whatever. Druids taps into a spiritual power that flows through the simple living things of Era. Plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, Druids do have a reverence to the natural world and a keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, Druids are understood as sort of a primal magician, but amongst the Glenfathans, Nasitaki, and many rural cultures, they may have a high position of influence and authority. Starting ability, Spirit Shift. All druids have mastered one animalistic form. These forms give the druid strong melee abilities and grant additional powers while the druid is shifted. Nice. Spells. Druid have access to a variety of offensive and some support-oriented spells. Every 2 level, Druid automatically gain access to an additional set of spells. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest. As Druid gains power, their weaker spells eventually shift to per encounter use. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yep, probably gonna make a Druid too. Like I said, I want my entire party to consist of magic users. This is why I can't play normal mode, because I know for a fact that it's not viable in any mode except easy. So, let's see, monk. Our monks belong to a variety of fighting orders that have sprung up in the Ixamilt and the Eastern Reach over the past few centuries. While many monastic orders can trace their teachings to the enduring founders, Tethlak individual is, I don't think the T is sound, Letak? Sure. Individual organizations vary greatly in their focus, morality, and ethics. Common folks respect their incredible disciplines of monks, but see them as an odd, unpredictable bunch who may not be entirely sane. Even mercenaries and other adventurers aren't sure what to make of them. Transcendent suffering. When monks have no weapons equipped, their unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful and continue to increase in damage as they gain levels. I love monks. Wounds. As monks are damaged, their pain generate wounds. Wounds can be used to power many of the monk's special abilities. Okay. Well, I'll tell you a little bit of a story. When I played back in the day, I did make a monk in Baldur's Gate. She kicked ass. Her bare fists can pound through dragon scales, and that was amazing back then. But I'm probably not gonna make a monk this time. Priests are devotees of area deities and practitioners of religious magic. While all priests dedicate themselves to a specific god, priest power is actually derived from their personal beliefs. In contrast to most paladin, priests tend to focus on philosophy, teaching, and relationship of religious organization with common folk. The reception of priests in many given parts of the world depend largely on how their god is revered or reviled by the people who live there. Starting abilities. Holy Radiance generates a modest amount of endurance for allies around the priest. Many enemy vessel costs in the area take burn damage and may be frightened. Over a course of the game, the power of the ability may shift based on the reputation of the priest gained relative to the behavior that are preferred by his or her deity. So that's basically a heal, but this is actually good because apparently it damages any enemy in the area, not just undead. So interesting. Priests have access to a variety of support and some offensive spells. Every 2 levels, priests automatically gain access to a set of spells. Initially, their spells can be a limited number of time per rest. Priests gain power, they're blah 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 blah. Same thing as a druid. Rogues are vicious killers, feared for the brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in the back alleys as the heart of battlefield skirmishes. Though unpredictable and undisciplined, rogues are commonly used as shock troops or as part of a surprise assault. Their withering attacks break enemy ranks and morale. Rogues tend to congregate in large numbers in cities where they can be steadily employed as mercenaries or hired muscle. What? No thieves guilds? Applied bonus damage, sneak attack. Applies bonus damage to the rogue's range and melee weapon attack when the target has any of the following affliction: blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralyzed, petrified, prone, stuck, stunned, or weakened. Flank is probably the easiest one. Deflection is reduced by 10%. Well, flanking is easy. All you have to do is have one person attack a creature and then another person attack him from a different point. That's flanking. So that's pretty easy to pull off. It also applies to any target rogue strike with a weapon within the first 2 seconds of combat. Oh, that's pretty good. And of course, finally, the class that I'm probably going to pick, the Wizard. The master of academic magic, wizards are students of arcane traditions that stretch back beyond the boundaries of recorded history. Wizards are a highly organized group, often forming academies or guilds devoted to research and development in magical studies, and tend to favor environments where inquiry, experimentation, debates, and the dissemination of knowledge are encouraged. Many accomplished wizards eventually become known for their eccentricity, their egos, and their unquenchable interest in all things arcane and occult. Starting abilities. Arcane Assault. Mid-range attack that hits a small area for raw damage and can leave the target dazed. Spells. Wizards have access to a variety of spells, of offensive and personal defense spells. Unlike priests and druids, wizards learn individual spells that they store and can cast directly from their grimoires. Grimoire can only hold 4 spells of each spell level, which motivates wizards to keep multiple grimoires for different needs. Oh. Every 2 levels, wizards gain access to an additional set of spells. However, they can automatically learn 1 spell of any level they can access to each time they advance. They can automatically learn 1 spell of any level they can access. Okay. So every 2 level, you gain a set of spells. But every level, you can learn 1 spell of your level or lower. Cool. Wizards also have the option of learning spells from grimoires they find or buy. Oh, that's great. So this is basically a D&D wizard, if you ever play D&D. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest. As wizards gain power, their weakest spells eventually shift to per encounter use. So basically, level 1 spells become cantrips. I have to pick this. You know that, right? So I don't like their outfit though. That's disgusting looking. I guess I have 4 spells I can pick. Time to read all the spells, guys. Archimere's Dazzling Lights. Overwhelms anyone in the area of effect with a brilliant and bewildering pyrotechnic display, decreasing their will and leaving them dazed. Is that... Here, hang on. That sounds like... Where's my D&D book? This literally sounds like a spell in here. Hang on, they just changed names. I know they did. What's the spell's name? I think the spell's name I'm thinking of is Color Spray, but I'm not sure. Spell description, blah blah blah. Wizard spells. Yeah, it has to be Color Spray. This sounds like Color Spray. Oh, come on. Guys, don't do this to me. There it is, Color Spray. A dazzling array of flashing colored lights springs from your hand. Blah, 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 blah. Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from you are affected ascending order. Starting with the creature that has the lowest blah, blah, blah. Subtract each creature. Okay, a creature. Okay. What does this actually do? Oh, okay, they're blinded. Which is basically the same here. Minus 10 will and dazed. Dazed victim accuracy is reduced by 10%. Dexterity percent. Yep, basically a blind effect. Okay, so yeah, I thought so. I thought so, guys. Look. Okay, this is basically D&D except in a game form, and I love it. Not gonna pick that. Sorry. Chill Fog. Hello. Chill Fog. Thank you. Chill Fog calls a blindingly white icy fog into existence, inflicting blindness on anyone entering a freeze damage over time to any in the area of effect. Okay, so blinding is actually different than dazed. And that's okay. How much is the damage? 12 to 19 damage per second? No, over time. So over the entire period, they'll take 12 to 9. Okay. 12 to 19 damage. It's okay. Range is 10 meters. The area effect is 2.5. 15 seconds to deal 12 to 19 damage? That's terrible. What the fuck? That's so bad. No, we're not going to pick that. Constant Hot Parasitic Staff. Create a glowing quarterstaff of pure energy for the wizard to wield, granting bonus to hit. Blah, blah, blah. It's a melee spell. Not going to pick that. Eldritch Aim grants the caster unworldly sight, resulting in a perpetual accuracy for a short period. Probably not going to pick that. Fans of Flames. This is probably Burning Hands. Create a cone of fire in front of the caster, causing burn damage. Okay, the length is 5 meters on a 120-degree cone. Jesus, damage is 41 to 57 damage. Oh my god, yeah, okay, that's definitely one of them. Definitely. Oh my god, there's so many spells. Definitely one of the spells I'm going to get. Fleet of Feet. Increased movement speed. Probably empowers the target with unnatural speed, increasing their movement rate. Yeah, no. Ghost Blades. Calls a field of unearthly blades into existence, inflicting immediate pierce damage, and a hobble affliction on the target in the area of effect. 21 to 31 damage is okay, but it also inflicts hobble, and that's it. Okay. Okay. So there is an area of effect in a 145-degree cone. I'll think about it. Jolting touch. A bolt of electricity jumps from the caster's fingers to the nearest enemy and then to the next nearest, causing decreasing amount of shock damage. Speed average 2-meter jump. So is a 2-meter attack range spell or touch spell. 21 damage, initial damage, and each jump takes 16 to 27 damage. It's okay. How many targets? 3 targets in total. Target plus 2. Okay. I'll think about it. Calicos Sunless Grass. The casters can become as cold as to freeze what they touch. Does freeze damage to a target and reduces actions. This is basically Chilling Touch or Ghost Hands. Either one. Probably Chilling Touch. 19 to 27 and a freeze effect. I don't like that. It can interrupt though. Yeah, it can interrupt. Right? Jolting Touch also interrupts. Ghost Blades also interrupts. Everything interrupts. Never mind. Minolta's Minor Missile. This is magic missiles. Basically summon 3 spell missile that batters the enemy, inflicting crushing damage. 3, so that's 30 to 60, 57 damage. So 30 to 57 damage, that's actually quite a lot. 3 projectile, range of 15 meters. Yep, this is going to have to be another one. This is Oil. Coasty, or the spell here is called Slicken, but it's probably Oil. Oh, what is it called in here? Oh, come on. I know it's in here. Don't be stupid. Grease. Right. Yeah, this is basically the grease spell. Oil-like substance inflicting knockdown, blah, blah, blah. It's good in combination with fire because you can light it on fire. So, I'll think about it. Spirit Shield. Surround the caster with a shield spirit energy, granting decreased damage reduction and concentration bonus. This is basically magic armor. If I remember correctly. What does that actually do? 3 damage reduction and 30 concentration? Blah. Thrust of Tattered Veils. Quick strikes of crushing foes, dealing little damage but having a high chance of disrupting the enemy spellcasters. 10% chance, interrupt, 1 second, crushing damage, 10-meter range. Wizard's Double. Creates a duplicate of the caster to distract the enemy, granting the caster a high deflection bonus against a single attack. No thank you. Okay. Definitely fans of flames. Definitely Minolta's Minor's Missiles. I don't want any of the touch stuff, so Jolting Touch and Sunless Grasp is gone. I'm probably going to take Ghost Blades and probably going to take Thrust of Tattered Veils just for the interrupt. The fuck? Highly recommended for Wizard and highly recommended for Wizard. 0 concentration. What does the concentration do? Ew. Oh. Okay. Well, I don't want that to reduce. Okay, so this actually increase casting speed, so that's why they also recommend it. Okay, so might just increase damage in general? Yeah. Might just increase damage in general, which is... There you go. Max that shit out! No, I actually don't want to be weaker than what I already am. I think I'm gonna go with this. Basically, she is a stick. A stick that can fire cannonballs. And that's gonna be cool. Oh! And I can pick the... Oh! That's cool. The Adir Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this world. It is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Though the empire has colonies in the numerous areas of the world, Greater Adir is at its heart and houses the majority of its humans and elven nations. Deathfire Archipelago consists of the nations of Nesitak, dozens of Amuna settlements, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea. Deathfire is home to boreal dwarves, Amana, and a mixed variety of other races. Deathfire Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east, as a multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. Ixamilt Plains. Located to the northeast of Erglanfoth, the Ixamilt Plains are a large expanse of fertile savannas that are relatively farmed by humans and Orland residents. The Ixamilt culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. Old Valia. Once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Valia is now crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations, counting many humans and dwarves amongst their ranks. The old valiant countries are still forces to be reckoned with and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. Okay. Rawatai. Dominated by the Amana nations of Rawatai, the Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Amana, Orlan, and Dwarven. Though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. The Living Lands is the mountainous regions of a large northern island renowned for its diversity of plants and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystem vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races in a variety of colonial and independent settlements. The White Hat that Wends, a large cracked southern expanse of the polar ice. The White that Wends is home to the Pale Elves and small colonies of daring explorer, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the White, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage for the sea or prey upon each other to survive. So the only one is Old Valia that actually increases my intellect. So I'm going to take that back and put my intellect to 20. 60% area of effect, 50% duration and will. My AoE is ridiculous. So I can hit like a truck with 24% damage and healing. And I can now AoE like a motherfucker with high intellect. My casting speed isn't that high though. Sacrifices must, right? Oh my god, there's more. Okay. Aristocrat. You live your life amongst no nobility. Your days have been marked by lavish meals and extravagant parties. Your conversation peppered with talks of pedigree and bloodiness. Colonist. You were part of a group that founded a fledgling colony in this distant land. Drifter. You never quite fit in no matter where you go. Each new town is a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You are more comfortable on the road, traveling the world. Laborer. Your life has been spent in the study of your craft. You train and prepare, hoping to hone your skill and ply your trade. Merchant. You traded goods from all over the world, pairing items with buyers of all kinds. Artist. You've always felt driven to express yourself creatively. The structures and rigid control of other pursuits has never satisfied in the same way. Dissident. You made a name of yourself as a troublemaker. Disrespect for the authority and a lack of care regarding the rules are recurring themes in your life. Hunter. You live for the thrill of the chase. Whether for glory or sustenance, you have made your living taking the lives of wild creature. Mercenary. Blade and battle is your way of life. You solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Slave. You've never known freedom. Shackled and chains have bound your existence, and someone has told you what to do your entire life. Okay. Why is my resolve down? Oh, yeah. That's right. Let me reduce that and put resolve up. How far can I reduce this? You know what? Fuck it. Let's go with that. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is going to be terrible. But you know what? I'm playing on easy mode. I'm playing on easy mode, guys. A stat build like this should work. It should. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. We're making a huge mistake. Okay, so it's either merchant, artist, or aristocrat. What do you guys think? I'll say aristocrats. Okay. Appearance. Finally. Only an hour in, right? And we're barely done with character creation because I like to read everything. So, colors. Primary. It's going to be black. Secondary is going to be red. Never mind, that looks disgusting. Make it black. Well, actually, since I'm purple, we could make it purple-ish. Oh, God, it looks terrible, though. Never mind. Please make it black. How about silver? I actually don't mind silver. Not too silver, though. That just looks weird. Silver and black? Yeah, silver and black looks okay. I'll stick with that. Oh my God, that looks amazing. I don't like the horns. The horns are weird. Either 2 or 1, guys. I'm going with 1. 1 looks awesome. Oh, come on. You can't capture your own face. Oh, Jesus. Fine. Here. We'll just go with this because that's the only one that actually represent my race and my gender. So, we're going with that. Okay?
I shall lead us. Let's keep quiet. Huh? Now I am leader of the group. Keeping an eye out.
You can pick a male voice?
I've got this. My eyes are peeled.
Leading the way.
Steady does it.
What is it?
I've got this.
This sounds like...
After them!
They won't see me coming. Yes.
Follow me.
Oh, God. Okay.
Keeping an eye out.
I've got this.
The better part of valor. I shall lead us.
To whispers and shadows. Yes.
I shall lead us.
Sure, we'll go with this. Enter name. The classic name that I always will pick for every female character that I'll ever make. Guys, I think we're done. Thank you for watching character creation. The next part will be the actual first part of the game. So, stay tuned.